right, friends, so we're doing the lymph today. So we'll start sitting down, cross-legged, find your position. We'll be here for a little while, so make sure you're comfortable. Maybe elevate your sit bones, hinge forward, and let's just rock side to side. And just check in with the low back, see how things are doing here. As you're rocking, we can start thinking with all the different poses we do about the lymph nodes that they're addressing. So there are a lot of lymph nodes in the crease of the hip. So go side to side, think about all the toning that's happening here, and then we'll go into a big circle. Lean back a little bit. So we compress and then we open up, which is a lot of what we do with all kinds of tissues, right? The compression and the release, the compression and release. And all tissues, well, I don't want to speak for all tissues, but many of the tissues do like that. Whether it's muscle, go the other way again. Whether it's muscle, whether it's fascia, whether it's organs, we're meant to move quite a bit. So our bodies are designed to receive that constant massage. Now go to the right hand on the ground, left hand on your knee, push into your hands and lengthen and breathe here. So the lymph moves through every nook and cranny of the body. When the muscles get very tight, they restrict that flow. Another thing that restricts that flow is scar tissue, whether it's from an injury or just from things getting very dense and compressed. It's going to the other direction. Press firmly here. The deep, slow breath also tends to move the lymph. There's a lot of lymph nodes kind of along the center of the body, of the torso. And then come back to center. And now lift the chest, inhale, and then around the spine, spread the shoulder blades apart. 3 more this way, back and forth. Good. Nice. And then come all the way up into a seated position. Extend your legs out. Shake the knees. Pull the fleshy part of the hips out of the way. Feel the sit bones again. And circle the ankles. And then point one foot and flex the other and back and forth. And now we're warming up the calves. So the calves are lymph's best friend in the lower extremity. So not much lymph nodes past the knee. Actually, I don't think there are any, but there's lymph obviously flowing. So it relies on the muscular contraction of the calf to pump it up the body. It doesn't have the heart, right? So it relies on muscles. One more time, back and forth. And then pull the toes up, bring your hands a little closer together and just lift your chin up and bring it down. Very simple. 2 more times. Check in to see what's happening in your neck today. Good. And then bring the chin down and go side to side. And we're checking to see what's happening in the back, but also the side of the neck. So the lymph nodes that go through all of that area, side and back of the neck, many of them. And some of them are responsible for draining the lymph from the brain. It's called the lymphatic system. Go in one direction. Let's go into full circles now. Good. And then bring the chin down and go in the opposite direction. So for now, we're mostly working with the muscles and the joints, and then we'll get a little more right into the lymph channels and nodes. One more time. And then pause with the chin lifted. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. Again, lift the heart. Deep breath. Crown of the head extends up. Extend your arms forward. Interlace the fingers and push your hands straight ahead. And then hinge the hips and pulse. Small, subtle pulses opening the back body. Keep the chest lifted as you're pulsing. 3, 2, and 1. And then let's churn some butter. Go all the way around and back a little, and deep breaths here. Beautiful. And let's switch directions. Lean back again. Open the front body and then the back. Think about those lymph nodes in the hips, in the groin. One more time. And then pause here. Heart lifts. Lots of energy through the center of the palms and through the center of your feet. Good. And then come all the way up. Extend the arms out and go side to side with your torso, keeping the hips steady on the ground. So you're feeling the side body start to wake up. Good. And then pause in the center and twist. One thumb goes down, one goes the other, and then switch. Feel the muscles of the arms wrapping around the bones. Beautiful. One more time. And then pause in the center, press the hands back, and now let's twist. Reach for the pinky toes. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist in the opposite direction. One more on each side. Again, think of those lymph nodes in the groin, but also right in the abdomen and in the chest, getting that soak and squeeze action. Let's do one more for good measure. Twist deeply. Inhale, reach, and exhale, twist. And then reach up. Very nice. Release the arms down. Scoop the knees up. And let's find our comfortable seated position again. So again, find your support underneath here. We'll be sitting for a little bit. We'll be using our hands to open up the pathways of the lymph. So we'll start right above the collarbone. So feel those bones. And then about center, maybe a smidge out from center of each collarbone, press over the bone down and soften. So you're pumping. And this is called the termini. This is where the lymph goes into the bloodstream. It's like the gateway. So we're going to start from the end of the pathway and go slowly away from it, so that if there's any blockage, we're not continuing to push liquid into area that isn't flowing. So we'll start here. 3, 2, and 1. And now with the opposite hand, let's start on the right side. Left hand, rub above the collarbone, back and forth. You don't need to press, so this shouldn't be uncomfortable for your skin. Just so as if you're trying to warm up the area, and then pat. And again, you want to feel a vibration, but not pain. Good. And let's go to the other side. Rub above the left collarbone, back and forth. You might find you need to swallow. You might start to feel some stuff draining. That's great. And then tap. Good. And then with your right hand, make a beak with your fingers, put them together. And again, now find the spot below the collarbones and just kind of rub a little. It might be a little bit tender. So find a spot about midway, feel that, and then start rolling your shoulder kind of over your hand. So you want to feel the fingers go a little deeper. There's lung tissue behind here, but also a lot of muscle that can get very tight. Good. And then go the other way with the circle of the shoulder. You might hear some creaking. Good. And release the hand, and then just take a breath and feel that side. They should feel a little bit different, at least. All right, let's go to the other side. Beak with the left hand. Am I mirroring? I don't know. I'm trying to mirror. But anyways, with your right hand, maybe go up below the collarbone on the other side. Rub a little until you find that tender spot. Maybe it's all tender. Go about midway on the collarbone. Rub a little. Let the tissue let you in, so you're not coming in too intensely and things tighten up. Good. And then start rolling your shoulder kind of over that hand. You might feel this in your back. Just notice where the sensation goes. Beautiful. And let's go back. And release your hands, release the shoulders. Maybe the shoulders are willing to settle back a little bit. So when we compress, contract, so much drainage gets blocked, including to our breasts, right? So we want to keep things open and spacious. And now we'll go a little higher. So from the termini, you're going to go to the below your ear and just rub gently. And they might be tender. So if you feel a lymph node that's tender or swollen, that means it's working overtime. So there's something that it needs to handle. And it tends to be pretty local, right? So if you feel something here, it's probably in your throat or your sinuses or your teeth. So if something's up with the teeth, you probably wouldn't feel it in your groin, right? The lymph nodes are pretty local where they need to Be active. Good. And then go from the ears down to the termini. Again, gently. This should feel good, like a nice massage. Beautiful. And then 2 fingers, one behind the ear, one in front of the ear. First rub for a moment and then go down. So all of this stuff that drains from the sinus towards the ears, now we're bringing it down. So just in front of the ear for now. And then we go from the ears down to the termini. Just 2 more times. From the ear, down the side of the neck to the termini. One more time. Very nice. All right. Now pinch your ear just briefly, just noticing interesting sensations here. And then grab the ears firmly, pull them slightly away from the skull. You might feel sensation in towards the center of your head, which is kind of odd, but you have the eustachian tube that connects the ear canal to the sinuses. Pull out and circle. So you want to get some movement deep in your head. Pull and circle one more time. And then release. All right. Now with your fingertips, bring them at the base of your skull. Find that knobby spot here and start rubbing down. Lymph nodes here as well. They get very congested because if we misalign our necks for hours on end. Good. And then find a spot that feels good and drape your head back a little. So you're resting your head slightly back on your fingers and rub again. So you want to basically take the scalp skin and move that around. So you're not sliding on the skin, you're moving the skin on the bone. It's also pretty cool to feel the bones, I think. All right, this will be our last thing sitting down. So let's take 3 more breaths with this. A really key area for the parasympathetic nervous system. We've been working with the vagus nerve too. So you might feel an interesting settling down. You might feel a different pattern of breathing. Maybe you need to yawn or swallow. One more. And release. Shake out the wrist. Release the hands down. Close your eyes. We'll do the rest of the body later. But for now, let's just keep the attention in this area. Collarbones and up to the crown of the head. Just a little mini meditation. You can also visualize some flow opening, some detoxification and cleansing. A lot of this cleansing in the brain especially happens at night. So if you're sleep deprived, there's a good chance there's a little bit of backup. So you want to open up and invite things to move. Beautiful. Now let's bring the hands over the heart, one palm over the other. Let's do 1 round of Om. Send the vibration through your skull, through that same area. Again, creating sound is another very gentle way of moving things. So deep breath in. Oh. Bow your head down to your heart. Set your intention for this practice. And then lift the crown of the head up. Release the hands down. And when you're ready, slowly transition into downward facing dog. Take your time, feel your hands on the ground. Visualize space and flow running through the back body now. Shake the head a little. So we're, again, opening up space and creating compression and release. Compression and release. Feel those calf muscles. If your calves are tight, they're not as effective at pumping the lymph up. So we want to make sure they're supple and nice and long. So bend one knee and pulse the other, heel up and down. 3, 2, and 1, and then switch. Pulse the opposite heel up and down. 3, 2, and 1, and then go back and forth. Move your hips, exaggerate the movement here. And then pause in the center, lift the sit bones high. And then release the knees down, but keep your toes tucked under and your hands forward of your shoulders. It will just move forward and back, creating a nice stretch through the sole of the foot. Very nice. When you go back next, let's pulse here. Nice pulse for the hips, for the abdominal muscles, and all the lymph nodes there, but also for the fascia on the bottom of your foot. 3, 2, and 1. Hold here. Push firmly into your hands. And then slowly come up. Uncurl the toes. Separate the knees wider than the hips. Look forward of your mat and circle. So lymph nodes are brilliantly positioned around our joints. So every time you bend a joint, you're toning the lymph node. So shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, right? The large ones. Switch the circles. Good. And then pause in the center. Bring the knees right underneath the hips, the hands under the shoulders. Let's do 3 rounds of cat and cow. Inhale, lift the heart and the sit bones. Push firmly into your hands. Exhale, round the spine and pull the navel up. So you're contracting the abdominal wall. Inhale, lengthen it. Open space in the front. Exhale, open space in the back. One more. And round, and now hold here. Keep the spine rounded. Pull the shoulder blades apart. Feel that space, and let's switch the breath. Inhale into your back. Exhale, sit bones and chest rise. Shoulder blades move back away from the ears. 2 more times. Inhale, round and open. And exhale, pull back. One more. Breathing smoothly and fully can be so helpful for that lymph flow. Nice. Now pause in the center, neutral spine. So a little bit of an arch in your low back. Keep the toes pointed and hover the knees and go up and down. Starting to engage core strength, arm strength. 3 more. And release the knees down. Good. Let's turn sideways on the mat and extend the right leg out. The right toes are pointing straight ahead, and you're really stretching the outer calf as well. And let's just move the torso and the hips back and forth. Want to open space in the inner thigh and the outer calf. So we have a lot of poses for the back of the calf, but what about the side of the calf, right? So when you find your spot where the stretch feels just right, come down to your forearms, stack your fists, relax your head, close your eyes, and just feel this. Now the right leg is very active, pressing down firmly. You can add a little bit of a pulse, especially if you're finding some pretty tight muscles. 3, 2, and 1. And then come up, bring the hands down, lift the left arm up, inhale. Exhale, hover the shoulder almost to the ground. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, hover. Now we'll do this 2 more times. Think about the lymph nodes, yeah? Hips, abdomen, shoulders, meaning mostly underarms. And then when you come all the way down, stay here, release your head and wrap the right arm behind you. Pull the shoulder back, keep pressing the outside edge of the foot and feel that. One more breath here. Reach the right arm up, bring the hand down. One more time, lift the left arm up, open to the side and extend, and release the hands down. Let's switch sides. Left leg extends, toes are forward, just rock forward and back and see what you feel. Inner thigh, outer calf. Beautiful. And then find your spot that feels just right. Come down to the forearms. Let's give the wrists a little break. Relax your head and your spine and feel the left leg. If you're not feeling much of a stretch here, try engaging your quadricep. Lift your kneecap up, squeeze that muscle, and you might feel somewhere else letting go. One more breath here. Good. Lift the forehead up, bring the hands down. Right arm lifts, inhale, exhale, under and hover. Lift up, space for all the tissues, squeeze all the tissues. One more time, inhale, lift up. And then release down, let the head go. Wrap the left arm behind you and just feel that nice spaciousness through the chest, a deep twist in the belly. One more breath. Reach the arm up and bring the hands down. The right arm extends up, open to the side, and release the hand down. Push your hands firmly into the floor. Push that foot on the side. Curl the toes behind you. Lift your hips and come into a separate-legged downward dog. Extend the arms forward. Lengthen from your sit bones. Move the hips a little side to side. A very spacious position. Most of us very familiar with the downward dog, the regular one with hip width apart with the feet, but this one's very different. So what do you notice here? Because the hamstrings sometimes are tight, this is actually a little easier for the pelvis. So get that nice tilt in your sit bones up. Beautiful. One more breath. You can bend one knee and then the other, checking in inner thighs. And then walk your hands back underneath the shoulders. Press firmly into your feet. Bring your hands to your hips and come all the way up to standing. Heel and toe the feet to hip width apart. Good. And now, so we're going to do the big six, that is lymph nodes opening. So we did termini, side of the neck and ears. Now we go to the underarm. So go under and move your right arm up and down. You're kind of digging into the armpit, but you shouldn't be painful. It should be kind of like, oh, this is interesting. Good. And then release the elbow down and rub in. So you're stimulating that flow from the armpit to where it can be drained. And then tap. Same thing on the other side, under the arm, up and down with the elbow. And then rub in. And tap. Good. Release the hands and go down, right down the center of the belly from the bottom of your rib cage to past the navel. This is the linea alba, that thick connective tissue that all the abdominal muscles connect to. Lots of lymph nodes behind there that the organs drain into, and then go side to side right over your navel. And then tap. Good. And now going into the creases of the hips, rub, so you're applying some pressure right in that crease. Think about every step you take, you're moving stuff through that lymph node, well, cluster. It's a big cluster. And then pat. Beautiful. And then we go behind the knees, rub behind the knees. You might feel some swelling. Just get familiar. What's happening here? Do you feel kind of a squishy bump, a squishy mole here, little hill? Tap both hands into the knees, and then just tap the outer legs all the way up. Relax the hands, come to standing, and then let's just drop the heel. So now this is for the whole body. So if you're going through your day and you're feeling really sluggish and your brain isn't working and your mood is low and but you have to get going. So if you can't rest, this is a great one. Just drop your heels and feel that vibration through the whole body. One more time. And release. All right, separate the feet a little wider. Let's bring it all together with a twist. So relax the arms, look down so your neck is relaxed and you're just flapping the arms. Full body. So all of the connective tissue through the body is getting this subtle twist. And the lymph nodes are not the nodes, but the channels are in the fascia, in the connective tissue. So if that's stiff and dry, then things are not flowing smoothly through it. Now look straight ahead and lift your arms so you're panning a little higher, maybe around your kidneys in the back. Beautiful. And then look even higher and now tap the upper chest and follow the arm that's opening to the side with your gaze. Can you feel this from your back heel to the extended hand? Body is one continuous fabric, right? Different tissues, but everything is relying on each other. Everything is connected. One more time. And come back to stillness. Come to the front of your mat and let's just take a few breaths to feel. Let your breath be whatever it needs to be. Soften your gaze, visualize or maybe feel that flow. You might feel that buzzy feeling, very awake, very energized. Maybe you're feeling nothing like that. That's okay too. Hands in prayer, moving towards our first sun salute. Inhale from the center of the chest, lift up. Exhale, bow forward and down. Feel that compression in the center. Inhale, lift the chest, mid-back is awake. Exhale, step back into plank. Hold here and rock back and forth. And now we'll do some push-ups. So you can drop the knees and do the push-ups this way. You can come down to your forearms and just hold it. The idea is to wake up the strength in the shoulders and the upper body and the arms and the core. So one more time. And then come all the way down to the ground. Lift the chest, wiggle the hips so there's lots of space. The abdomen is on the ground, toes are pointed, lift the heart, circle the wrists. Good. Now keep your hands floating, squeeze the elbows into the side body, recruit your mid-back, and then move your chest and head side to side. So different muscles are here. Your neck can't do this movement, so let it hold the head and let it be that. And then side to side. And then pause here, bring the hands underneath the forehead, rest your forehead down, and now relax the upper body. So full breath to invite space and ease through the muscles so we're not stuck in clenching. Clenching is not great. Yeah, rock the hips again, find more length. Extend the legs from the hip joints, toes are pointed, lift the legs up, hold this. Let your head get heavier as the legs get lighter. Good, now pause here and then just bend the knees. So you're just bending the knees, they're still kind of off the ground a little bit, and then straighten them. A few more, think lymph nodes in the back of the knee, getting that nice compression. At the same time, your hamstrings are getting stronger, the back of your leg. 2 more. And then extend the legs behind you and let them go. Turn the toes in and the heels out. Just rock side to side. Check in. All right. Now let's lift the forehead again. Plant your hands on the outsides of the mat with the fingers pointing forward. The legs are relaxed, the toes as well. Lift the chest, doesn't have to be high, and then dip your right shoulder to the left hand and look over the left shoulder. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist, warming up the rotator cuff muscles and also targeting the lymph nodes in the armpits. One more time in each direction. And then lift in the center and exhale, come down. Extend the arms behind you now, circle the wrists. And then turn the palms down, lift the legs as well, and take 3 breaths in the full Salabhasana position. Lots of strength in the back. And we're going to do this with the breath so you can really feel that idea of contract the release, compress and expand. So inhale, lift a little higher, arms, chest, legs, head. Exhale, 1 ear to the ground, let go completely. Inhale, reach up, lift a little higher maybe. And exhale, let go. 2 more, 1 with each ear, coming down, release. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, other ear down. Inhale, lift up and hold again. See if anything changed. Maybe you can lift a little higher, maybe not. And let's pulse the arms and the legs in and in, hugging the midline with the shoulder blades, with the latissimus dorsi, with the glutes, with the inner thighs. 3, 2, and 1. Hold here. And then release 1 ear to the ground and just rest. Close your eyes. Feel your back. So many of us manage to have weak and tense backs, right? So we want to do the exact opposite. We want to have strong, supple back muscles. So see if you can let them go here. Feel the breath moving all of those muscles from the neck to the heels, or at least to the glutes. One more slow breath here. And now let's lift up, engage everything, lift the arms, the legs, the chest, feel that strength. Hands under the shoulders, push back into child's pose. Settle back and maybe wiggle the hips a little bit. Keep the arms forward. The knees are slightly wider than the hips, and we'll do the tricep push-ups. Now think about those lymph nodes. I love this one because we get the groin ones, the knee ones, and the armpit ones. So let's feel it out. So fingers turn in towards each other, come forward, open the elbows apart, go back into child's. 3 times, just forward and back. Big movement for the whole body. Now let's double it up or triple it up. It's up to you. When you come forward, you do a few push-ups, and then you go into your deep child's. 3 more rounds this way. Single, double, triple, quadruple, whatever works for you. But again, let some energy flow. Let some heat build. Beautiful. Last one. And let's rest in child's. This time, bring your hands back. Maybe bring your knees a little closer together. And then just notice, what do you feel here? Beautiful. One more breath. All right. So we started working on strength in the upper body. Let's now get into the core. So bring your forearms on the ground. For dolphin, interlace the fingers, lift the hips up, shake your head so your head is free and your neck is long. And the knees can be as bent as they need to, but the spine is nicely extended. One more breath here. Take a step back with each foot. Pull the navel to the spine so your core is on board, and then come forward, chest over the fist, go back into dolphin. Keep going. Maybe you do one. Maybe you do one and you take a break. Maybe you do a few more. Just pace yourself with that sweet spot of where you feel challenged, but you're also enjoying yourself. One more time. Good. When your chest comes forward next, walk your feet all the way back. Hold here. Press the forearms. Gaze is forward of your mat. And then tap the right knee to the mat. Lift it up. Tap the left knee to the mat. Lift it up. Keep going. Beautiful. Now bring both knees to the mat. Pull the navel in. You're still staying very active in your center. Dip the right hip down. Bring it back to center. Dip the left hip down. Good. Move so slowly. You can feel the muscles that need to engage for this to happen. And also, so you can notice if your shoulders start to creep up and you're going into clench mode. So slowly, side to side. One more in each direction. Pause in the center, elbows traction back, knees traction forward. Release the hips down. Extend the legs behind you, swings, palms down, traction the elbows back again. This time to recruit the mid-back. And then come down, bringing the right arm across the chest, the left arm over the right, drape the chin down and stretch the upper back. Only a few more breaths here. Feel that nice compression in the underarm area. And those lymph nodes in the abdomen are also getting a nice massage since they're pressed into the floor. Well, they're not, but the abdominal wall is. One more breath. Lift the chin up, switch sides. Left arm comes under right. Walk the arm all the way out. Whatever that means for today, drape the chin down, close your eyes, And feel that stretch in the upper back. Can you let the neck feel even more relaxed, and the head will get heavy when that happens? Thinking about those lymph nodes at the base of your skull, getting plenty of space. One more breath. Now lift the chin up. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders, one at a time. Circle the shoulders and move the head just organically around. And then pause with the elbows squeezed into the side body. Bend your knees, lift the knees here. And then extend back and grab your feet or your ankles. Just pause for a moment, feel your abdomen on the ground, chest is lifting. And then when you're ready, maybe lifting a little higher. Keep going. So the back body is nice and warmed up, and we use that strength to open space in the front body. 2 more breaths, maybe rocking forward and back, a little extra massage for the abdominal muscles and organs and lymph nodes. And then lift up, inhale, and let go. So the other ear from the one that automatically wants to go down goes down. So we're switching sides. We close the eyes and we breathe some ease through the whole body. So that movement, the contraction and the undulation and the letting go, it's kind of like getting the slingshot, pulling it back. So you're getting the momentum and then you let go, and it's actually in rest where a lot of the beautiful stuff happens, like the building of muscle, the repair, the rejuvenation, the flow, right? One more breath in stillness. So we got to get really good at resting. And now let's lift up again, arms, chest, legs. Lift everything up. And then hands under the shoulders, push back into downward dog. How is this down dog doing here? What do you feel? What do you notice? And now we'll do our first vinyasa. And as you go through vinyasa, think about the lymph nodes, yeah? So hips, abdomen, shoulders, knees, maybe not so much, but let's just see how it goes. Come forward into plank. Come down to the ground or hover. Inhale, lift the chest, feel that space in the abdomen, and downward facing dog. Let's do a lion's breath. Inhale through the nose. Stick your tongue way out. Lift your hands, step, hop, or walk your feet all the way front. Lift the chest and arch the spine. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, arms to the side, reach and lengthen. Feel that space in the side body, and exhale, hands in prayer. Good. One full breath just to check in. Let's do breath of fire. Inhale, expand the abdomen out and begin. Three, two, and one. Let the breath flow on its own. Good. And let's shift the flow a little bit here. Inhale, reach the arms forward, open, space through the whole body. Exhale, come down with a flat back. Inhale, left foot to the back of the mat. Pause here. Inhale, rise up, subtle arch at the top. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, right leg lifts up. Circle the right ankle around in the air. And then point the right toes down so you can see them. The pelvis is level and the left heel lifts up and releases down. Keep going. This is really for that calf muscle, so that it's effective with every step you take. One more time. And then lift the right leg up again. Inhale. Exhale, big step between your hands. Inhale, rise up into the high lunge again. And exhale, bring the fingers down. Lift the left leg up towards the sky. Shake the head. Inhale, toes lift. Exhale, left foot meets the right. Inhale, hands to the shins. Feel the mid-back. Exhale, step or hop back into plank through your vinyasa slowly with awareness on the lymph nodes. Good. One breath in downward dog. Relax the face. Look to your hands. Step, hop, or walk your feet all the way front. Lift the chest and arch. Exhale, let go. Inhale, arms to the side. Reach and lengthen. Exhale, hands in prayer. One full breath. Inhale, reach the arms forward and arch. Exhale, come forward and down. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Push into the feet and come up to high lunge. Lift up. Exhale, hands down. Sweep the left leg behind you. Circle it in the air, the ankle. Point the toes down. Lift the right heel up and down 3 times or 4 times just to really get that calf. Good. Release the right heel towards the ground. Lift the left heel up. Inhale. Exhale, step forward. Bring the fingertips to the ground and the right toes lift high. Circle this ankle around. Inhale, lift up high. Exhale, feet side by side. Inhale, lift the chest halfway. Exhale, bow down. Arms come to the side, reach overhead, lengthen from the side of the waist. Exhale, hands in prayer, full breath in the center. Samastitihi. Very nice. All right, let's do this again. We'll add some variation. Lift the arms forward and up and arch. Exhale, come forward and down. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Bring the left fist underneath your left shoulder. Right arm reaches up and hold this twist for a moment. You're not leaning in that hand. The weight is in your feet. And let's move. The right arm goes back as you bow over. 2 more. Think about the lymph nodes. Which lymph nodes are we stimulating here? Beautiful. Last one. Pause here. Relax your hands. Just drape the spine over. Breathe into your back. And then bend the front knee. Extend the back heel towards the ground. So it's not touching the ground, but it's rooting in that direction. And then reach the arms overhead for high lunge. Relax your shoulders. Keep your gaze steady. Align the neck. Very important. And now let's move. Straighten the legs. Bend the elbows and the knees. 2 more. When you come down next, keep the elbows and the knees bent. Bring the elbows together. Pulse up. Open the elbows, straighten the legs. Bend. Pulse up. And then open. Now, when you bend the knees, pause and either hold this or keep pulsing. Good. Without tensing the face, the neck, let the arms work hard, the biceps and the deltoid muscle in the front of the shoulder. 3, 2, and 1. And then reach up, extend the arms behind you, interlace the fingers, roll the shoulders back, pivot your back heel to the ground so you have more stability here in warrior 1 stance, and lift the chest. So those same muscles we just contracted, open them up. Think about lymph nodes from the jaw all the way to your feet. Well, they're not there, but the lymph channels are there. 1 more breath. Pivot the back heel up towards the sky. Reach the arms overhead. Circle around. And then bring the fingers down into standing splits. Shake the head. Stack the left hip on top of the right. Inhale here. Exhale, cross. Left knee behind right. Inhale, let this be a full lymphatic system movement. So move everything. Your neck, your shoulders move away from the knee. Lots of flow through the center of the body. 2 more times. When you come in next, stay here. Pause and breathe into your back. Squeeze everything towards the navel. And again, lift up. Extend the left leg up. Inhale. Exhale, left foot meets the right. Bend the knees and slowly uncurl. Good. Hands in prayer. Right knee lifts. The same foot that was just bearing weight. Now it circles. One way and then the other. And then reach the arms into a nice wide V. Flex your foot. And then pulse the knee up and up and up. Good. Keep breathing and pulsing. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet side by side. Visualize circulation flushing through that hip. Shoulders settle. One more breath. And a full sun salute. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow forward and down. Redistribute the energy all the way through the body. Lift the heart. Step, hop, or walk. You can also skip the vinyasa and just meet us in downward dog. And eventually, let's all meet in child's pose. Take your time, no rush. When you get there, let go completely. Close your eyes. Let the breath do what it needs to do. And see if you can feel that slingshot effect where you got things into motion and now they're going even though you're resting. Two more breaths. All right, let's come back into downward facing dog. Lift the hips high. Check in. Let's pulse the heels up and down a little bit. So it's kind of like this you probably heard the rebounder is really good for the lymph. No, so we're just creating our own rebounder. Up and down, great for the calf muscles. Great for pushing that fluid up. 3, 2, and 1. Look to your hands. Step, hop, or walk all the way forward. Lift the chest and arch the spine. Exhale, bow down. Arms come to the side, reach overhead. And exhale, hands in prayer. Relax your shoulders, soften your gaze. All right, let's do the other side. Lift the arms forward and up and arch. Exhale, hinge from the hips and come down. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Press the right fist into the ground and twist and just feel this for a moment. Lots of length through the spine and the arms and the leg behind you. And let's add the flow. The arm goes down and we bow forward and down and keep going. Good. Last one. And then pause with the front leg somewhat straight. Relax the head and breathe. One more breath. Rebend the front knee. Lift the arms over the head. Square the shoulders and the hips. And pause here. And let's move. Straighten the legs. Bend the knees and the elbows. Inhale up and straighten. Exhale, bend. One more time. Good. Now bend the elbows and the knees. Bring the elbows together. Pulse up. And then straighten and open. Bring the elbows together. Pulse up. Open the chest. One more time. Come back down. Bend the knees and pulse. The pulses can be as small or as big as you want them to be. Keep the back of your neck long. Squeeze those elbows together. 3, 2, and 1. And then reach up. Bring the arms behind you. Interlace the fingers. Pivot the back heel to the ground so you can really root into it. Shoulders come down the back. Lift the chest. One more. Lift the crown of the head up, release your hands, circle the wrist on the way up, and we come into standing splits. Tripod the fingers, lift the toes up, shake the head so the neck is nice and long, and then think about the lymph nodes as you stack the right hip on top of the left, and then you cross. Inhale, lift up, exhale, round. Keep going. Make this slow but dramatic. So, right, it's very big, in and out. Beautiful. One more time. And round the spine and hold here. Relax the head. Bring the hands in prayer in front of the shin if you want, or keep the fingers on the ground, but focus on the breath in the back body. All right, now extend the right leg lifts up, and then it meets the left. So feet side by side, bend your knees and slowly uncurl. Circle the shoulders around, and then lift the left knee in front. Circle this ankle that was just bearing all the weight. And we'll combine breath of fire, which I think is pretty amazing for the lymphatic system in the center, especially, with some pulsing of the knee. So you're targeting that hip crease. So shoulders down, gaze is slightly up, neck is relaxed, flex the foot if that feels better, and pulse as you breathe out. Three, two, and one. Bring the feet side by side, rock forward and back. Take a moment. Let's do the half sun salute with variation just to feel the side body here. So I'll turn this way so you can see, but you can face the front. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, lean to the right. Stretch from the heel to the fingertips. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, squeeze the elbows down and lift the heart. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale, bow down. Inhale all the way up to standing. And then hands in prayer and take a moment here. Let's finish the standing poses with the mock running. So we're going to be turning to the right foot. Toes are pointing straight ahead. Left toes are at an angle, 45 or so. Lift the heel. You want to feel a little unsteady in the feet, so the core has to work hard. Squeeze the elbows into the side body. Rest your gaze on something in front, so you're not tempted to start leaning forward or dropping the chin. So everything is nicely aligned, and start pumping the arms. So as I was researching lymph, I read that conductors live longer. And one of the theories that because they're always moving their arms, right? So any chance you have, move those arms. Exaggerate. If you're going on a walk around like a crazy person, but now you're gonna speed it up. So you're gonna go as fast as you can, like you're running for your life. Not stressed, but very powerful. Keep going, feel that heat. Three more breaths. Get this as intense as you can. And slow it down. Whew. Pause for a moment and feel. Let's go to the other side. So first set up your feet slowly and calmly. So as if you don't know what's coming. Left toes are pointing forward, right heel is lifted, hips are centered. Squeeze the elbows, find a spot to rest your gaze, and start pumping the arms. As you feel ready, accelerate the movement of the arms, trying to keep the torso pretty still, and then go right into intensity, whatever that might mean for you. Three more breaths, really go for it. Shake out the arms. Open the feet a little wider apart. So coming into goddess, let's just do some cooling down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands in prayer, bend the knees. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Last one. Inhale, reach up, arms to the side, turn to the front of your mat. Windmill the palms down, step back in your final downward dog and check in. If you're feeling called to do one final vinyasa, do that. All right, we meet in downward dog. Since the immune system is very supported by the lymph, but it also tends to cleanse the cells. So let's do a cleansing lion's breath to finish here. Inhale through the nose. Stick your tongue out. Release the knees down. Turn around and lie on your back. Let's do the knees bent, feet on the ground. Reach the arms overhead and circle the wrists. Releasing all that they've done today, but also yesterday and the day before that. Good. And then reach the arms to the side into a wide T shape. Bring the feet to the outsides of the mat, and let's do some windshield wipers. And just think about space through the body. We're massaging the hip joints, the low back. The chest is very spacious. One more in each direction. And come back to center. Bring the soles of the feet together. Hold this for a moment. Lots of space through pretty much all of your lymph nodes, especially those large central clusters, belly, hips, armpits, chest. One more slow breath, signaling to the system it's time to settle down and rest. Bring the arms slightly lower, preparing them for Shavasana, or you can keep them where they are if that feels relaxed. Extend the legs in front. Wiggle your way into this very supported position. Do a few slow breaths. Maybe a sigh, maybe some sound, maybe some humming, maybe an om. And eventually settle into Shavasana and see if you can not do anything. You're being supported, so you can just be. Let's now bring the attention to the breath. Feel the movement it creates. Visualize the toning effect it has on all of the lymph nodes, in the torso especially. Let's do one Om to seal the practice here. So take a deep breath in and send that vibration everywhere. Inhale and Om. When you're ready, wiggle fingers and toes. Move the head side to side. Feel that nice massage for the neck muscles, for the vagus nerve that goes through the sides of the neck, and for all the lymph nodes that are just right around there. And pause in the center, stretch the arms overhead, wiggle the hips. See if you can receive that healthy flow. And then soften the stretch, roll over to one side, curling up for a breath. And then use your hands for support to come up to a seated position. Bring your hands over your heart in prayer or one on top of the other, and bow your head down and send gratitude to your body for being so beautifully designed so you can go through your life supported, encouraged, with the capacity to heal. And thank you all for practicing today. Namaste.